Good evening, everyone. I am, of course, the Black Shadow, and we are here for a hopefully not too lengthy update video, but we've got a bit of ground to cover in this one. About 3 to 6 months worth of ground to cover? Hope you're a little comfy. Yes, as I said, and I've mentioned in both videos and also on Twitter, a update video is due. Some of you guys may or may not know, we're heading on to holiday rather soon. I'm heading over to the United States, especially down the East Coast. By this point as well, I also, before I do forget, for those of you guys watching on the States, especially around Florida at the moment, I hope you guys are taking care down there. Of course, things pretty crazy with hurricanes rattling across. So I hope everyone down there is safe, and I hope for everyone that is affected, that everyone that and everyone down there is keeping yourselves safe as you can be. Just so you guys know, I have details for that now, which is why this update video is going. Because, of course, if I'm going to be going away on a holiday for a little while, that is going to impact this channel. As far as actual physical details are concerned, I'm going to be flying out from the UK. We're heading into the US on October 13th. Friday, the 13th. Oh boy. I'm not actually going to be back into the country here until the very beginning of December. I'm going to be gone for a good 7 weeks, folks. Thoroughly looking forward to it. Long waited for this. And if I do say so, just a little bit on the deserved side, don't you think? Obviously, taking such a long absence away could well impact the channel. At this exact moment in time, having finished Resident Evil 5, having finished GTA, and everything like that, at the moment, our slate is completely and utterly blank. There is nothing. We are completely clear of everything that we've done so far. Like I say, we need to work out what we're doing. So we're going to take this into 3 parts. Before, during, and after. We've got, the 12th now, today. Especially by the time this video goes up effectively. 11th, depending where you are. We've got a whole calendar month until I board a plane. And as such, we've still got a little bit of time left until when I actually go. I didn't really quite know what time we're going to get because, of course, I wasn't too sure how long GTA Vice City Stories were going to take to finish. As well as other bits and pieces we were doing. But we still got, 4 or 5 weeks basically until then, so that's looking pretty good. So what do I want to do in that time, folks? Well, I've got a couple of LPs put together of games that I am looking to do before we go. Nothing too crazy intensive, nothing too long. Basically, a couple of games I want to have done before I go, folks. First one is actually a request from about 4 to 6 weeks ago, or whenever it was. We were doing a couple runs for Oregon Trail 2, old PC game. Of course, it was really annoying and crippling that our second run, as arduous as it was, and it was pretty eventful, ended at the last hurdle because of a system crash. And you can't say for some reason, it doesn't seem to work. Utterly gutting. I had a request from Regitsu, who was the person who actually bought the game for me, if I would be willing to have one last go, folks, at that. And I've agreed. I've said, yeah, fine, I'll do one more run. There's still some options available for us of time periods for us to take and routes for us to take that we haven't taken yet. We'll be having one more go with that. Like I've done in the previous run, if there's anyone that is interested in joining for the journey, you can have 5 people on the wagon train. Please feel free to put your names below. Priority is going to be allocated. There's 2 people that applied for the previous run. They will be getting on automatically. And then I will be giving priority to people that haven't been on the second run. Basically, if 3 people that haven't been on that apply, then they'll get in. If there's more than that, it'll be random draw. And if there's any spaces, then any other requests I get, basically, we'll put on. So that is something there. If you are interested, please feel free to put in the comment section somewhere down that direction. Obviously, that's not going to fill us for a month. And there is one game which I've sort of sat back and thought about, and I thought, yep, it's actually a good idea. Not just because it's a game that I've been receiving requests for about a couple years now. And I've had quite a few people ask me about this game more than once, and I've said yes, I would eventually get on with it, especially the past sort of few months, given a lot of its series that has been on its channel recently. Especially with like Resident Evil 5 and the Outbreak series I'm going to talk about in a moment, folks. And I had a request for a certain games, and I've kept asking. Very unique game. And, I figured it might be a good time to do it now. And I am referring to Resident Evil Dead Aim for the PS2. Basically a follow-on from the Survivor series, which of course we have done as well on this channel. It's quite a unique take on the series, kind of a weird blend between like third person and first person. I forget when the game was made. I think it's set in 2002, I think it is. Had a quick little like 5-minute blast just to make sure the game I had was running correctly. The controls, whoa, they are a bit mad. It's going to be an interesting little journey, folks. Of course, I will be looking to take on that game on the hardest difficulty, because I'm mad. Have you not learned anything the past several years? And whilst I don't know exactly how long it's going to take to do that because it's a blind run, I certainly should be able to get that game fully done and recorded, and at least way before I go. Which is a good thing, because I've got plenty of other stuff to be doing. So that should be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to that. The only other game that's sort of going on sort of at the moment is the Outbreak series. Again, a big thank you to everyone who watched along with Resident Evil Outbreak. People who watched my old LP several years ago knew just how much I'd always wanted to play the game online, multiplayer. Finally got the chance. So much fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And of course, a lot of questions regarding Outbreak File 2. It's been hard to give details because, obviously me doing it along with Shotgun Jen, Pistol Pete and Gears Games, we weren't 100% sure what we were going to do because I knew about what was happening. We have decided there was a potential we were going to leave it until when I got back, but we have decided we are going to crack on with the series, and if we manage to get all the actual main campaign done before I go, that'd be awesome. There's still plenty of scope to do lots of stuff when we get back as well. Anyways, hopefully, don't know what exact their plans are. Well, hoping to actually get some recording done this Wednesday. So I will let you guys know what's going on in regards to an upload date for that, as and when I know more. Of course, please follow, that will be passed along via Twitter. Link down below to follow me on Twitter at BlackShow993 for lots of updates regarding not just Resident Evil Outbreak, but also plenty of other videos and bits and pieces that are going along as well. Handy source for news and information. So again, that'll be something I'll be looking to do. Of course, a lot of fun. File 2 itself, doing that very hard. It's going to be tough. I think overall as a game, File 2 is harder than File 1. While you can do more things with File 2 and there's a lot more options available to you, the actual physical game itself is pretty tough. And I think could be quite challenging. So it's going to be a good test of our skills, no doubt. So that's all the plans of stuff I'm doing and uploading before I go. Then I get on a plane. And the thing is, I'm going to be gone for about 7 weeks. That is a long time to be gone away, folks. And the thing is, I don't want the channel to basically not be active for 2 months. That is going to hurt. Obviously, we had a couple of issues over the summer of me recording, which still annoys me. The only other time I've had like a real proper pause was about 3-4 years ago, I think it was now. I was seriously ill for about a month. I literally was just bedridden. I couldn't do anything. Really sucked. That's the only time the channel's had a big pause. And I don't want that to happen while I'm away. So I've got a very ambitious plan, folks, in that I'm actually looking to record a couple of LPs before I go, so that they can be uploaded while I'm gone, folks. Because as while I am not actually going to be in the country, I'll still, of course, be looking over the channel, respond to any comments and messages I get, and all that. And I had a little sit about games I was going to do, and I have decided. Again, that's why I got these. So the first game is a game I was actually going to do last October, and it was planned I was going to do it, and then it kind of got overran by Silent Hill 3. It was kind of a last-minute decision. And I was going to do it this October, regardless of whether I was going to be in the country or not. It was something I was going to do, because it does fit the Halloween season so wonderfully well. And I am referring to Alan Wake, which was a game for... Well, I've got it on 360. I think it was on other consoles as well. Released about 7-8 years ago, something like that. I can't remember the exact release date. For those of you guys who haven't ever played it or seen it, be sure to check it out when I get round to that. It's a really, really entertaining game. A lot of fun. It's kind of a more kind of almost artistic take on survival horror. Whilst obviously we've had a lot of that on the channel regarding obviously with Resident Evil and Silent Hill and other bits and pieces that I've done. It is kind of its own version, and it's a lot of fun. I again really recommend you guys take a look at that. It should be a wonderful viewing experience. For those of you guys that have played the game before, I do actually also own, the game was released for a couple of DLC chapters. I do also own them as well, and I'll be looking to show those off as well. So that should be wonderful. Nice for us to run over the October period. That may not last us 7 weeks, though. And I had a second game in mind. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get 2 LPs fully recorded. It will be a bit of a test to get those fully recorded and processed before I go. It's going to be tight. However, the second game I had in mind is a follow-up from an LP which I think this channel first saw about 4 years ago. It was now, actually. And while the sequel is set 2 years after the original, not 4, and it was actually my plan to do it 2 years afterwards, and then it kind of didn't happen. Because it's a PS2 title, and you guys know the issues I've had with PS2 titles over the past couple of years. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Max Payne 2. Hopefully, some of you guys have seen the LP I did Max Payne 1 a few years ago. Absolutely fantastic series. Really love it. I am a major fan of like the comic book illustrating style for the storytelling. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed it. And I've always been wanting to get around to doing Max Payne 2. Of course, Max Payne 3 does move away from that a little bit. It's a little bit more gritty, but it still has its moments. But yeah, Max Payne 2, also a really enjoyable game, and that is the other one I'll be looking to record and get up ready for while I'm gone, folks. And I think between that and Alan Wake, that should certainly cover for the period I'm gone. Both, I think, really entertaining titles. Ones I don't need the most work going into as well, which is good because, you know, I'm a little bit time constrained now. I've got about 4 weeks until I get on a plane, so I've got a lot of work to do, as you can tell. Then I get back off a plane. And as I say, I don't expect to I'm not going to be back in here in the UK until like the very beginning of December, folks. And you know, whilst I don't know exactly from when I get back, how long it'll be. Sort of, I may start recording straight away afterwards. It might be like a week. I might not start until like January. I don't 100% know. Of course, I've not really been on a holiday like this or taken time away like this for a while, if ever. So I don't exactly know quite how I'm going to feel. But I was certainly looking to certainly return. And of course, I've had a whole slew of games, of mentions, of considerations of games, and other titles of like, when are you going to do them? What are you looking to do? I'll give you my rough plan at the moment. This is not fixed in stone. This is my rough plan. I'll get back in December. And it makes sense if I'm going to return to LPing. I'm probably going to want to start with a title that I don't need to do a massive amount of work for. And not that I'm lazy or anything like that. Oh heavens, no! Me lazy? Are you kidding me? I'm offended. No. As I've mentioned, especially with people that are watching the back end or Resident Evil 5 into the Mercenaries, I had mentioned that it is very likely the first game back I will do will be Resident Evil Revelations 2, which of course is blind for me. We're now at the part of the of Resident Evil series which I've been very, very eagerly anticipating, because I've played every single Resident Evil game I think I've ever played now. Everything else I do from now on, I've never touched. And at this point, I don't know what happens with the Resident Evil lore. I honestly don't know. I've kept myself ignorant for years to do this. And Resident Evil Revelations 2 is the next game we will be doing. Resident Evil 6 to follow that. That could be an interesting one from what I've been hearing. But yeah, Revelations 2 is going to be what I'm looking to do. And yeah, I basically will be looking to start that as my return LP. Hopefully it'll be in December. Don't know exactly when. Again, I'll let you guys know more details when I get back, basically, as to what my exact plans and intentions are. A couple of other requests as well, sort of like the Grand Photo series, of course, we've just done. Next game for that is meant to be GTA 4. I'm looking to tackle that some point next spring. Sounds about right. I don't want to do GTA games too close to each other. So that is certainly quite an option. And that's when I look to do it. Of course, GTA 4, a much sort of grittier, sort of more realistic entry into the series, folks. Which some people liked, some people didn't. Touch and go. Send the next one for us to tackle. And I'm looking forward to it, actually. Just because it's gritty, it doesn't mean it has its fair share of pretty crazy characters and some pretty insane shit that we will end up having to do. So I'm looking forward to that, really am. Other than that, though, a few games that people have mentioned to me. Notes, so I didn't forget. So let's see what we got here. We've got Parasite Eve 2, Dino Crisis 2, of course. The first entries to both those titles were suggestions from the channel. Both really entertaining ones. Dino Crisis was obviously Resident Evil, but, you know, not Resident Evil. And Parasite Eve was certainly something very different. Thoroughly enjoyed both those games. I think both those LPs as well. Very well received. I think were really enjoyable. I'm very interested in doing both of those sequels. So if I was going to do them, there'd probably be some point in the new year, I would wager. So we will tackle that. I'm going to be honest, odds are, if I do return and do Resident Evil Revelations 2, that LP will probably be standalone. I don't think I'll be running two LPs on side by side. I think I'll be focusing all my efforts into just Revelations 2. Once I've beaten that and we've got past that, then I'll probably go back to doing two LPs concurrently. But that'll be just the one on its own, most likely. Left 4 Dead series, yes. Of course, series I've hinted at several times over the channel, of course, and I've already said about my sheer love of the series. Honestly, possibly my favourite video game series of all time. It's up there with Resident Evil. It really is, you know, and of course now it is the standard bearer, you know, and the standard setter for any co-op, you know, especially zombie style shooter there is going on. You know, it really set the bar. Fantastic stuff. And as I have mentioned, I'll be looking to do a playthrough of both Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. I've already got a team set up to record that with. I'll probably be looking to, once I get back in December, I'll be looking to start setting up times for us to start recording that. Of course, I'll be looking to do that series on experts, because I hate myself. But I'm not concerned, though, because I'll be honest with you guys, I've played that series a ridiculous amount of time. Honestly speaking, I've played the game so much. And ask King Strikel, he will tell you how much I've played this series and how much I know about this series. It is a joke. I might not be as current as I used to. When I used to play that game years ago, and I was playing it, like good couple of several times a week. Oh my gosh, I was just. It's quite frightening some of the stuff I was able to get away with that game. So enjoyed it. So yeah, so that'll probably be starting some point. I'd love to get that started by January. That'd be so much fun. So enjoy that. But I'll have to get that together with the three team members I have got in mind. They know who they are. I'm sure they're all listening. And I'll be getting hold of you little people in December so we can organise time to start sorting that one out. RPGs. Yes, of course, something we haven't had on the channel for quite a little while is a actual proper role-playing game, which I do like to do. Parasite Eve was the closest thing we've had, kind of a pseudo RPG meets survival horror. But as far as an actual out-and-out RPG, we haven't had one for a little while. This is for, the problem is that when I'm doing the more Let's Play series, I can get through quite a lot quite quickly. But RPGs, they take a lot of work. I have to do a lot of work with them usually in advance, unless it's blind like I did for Grandia 2. And also, they're not short games. They take a lot of time to record. So I don't get through them very quickly, which is understandable. And I don't want to be doing RPGs all the time because it is quite a lot of work. I have no idea what RPG I will do. I'll be honest, I've not thought about it the past few weeks. I would suspect, though, and again, rough plans here, is I may well do the next RPG on the channel alongside GTA 4 in the spring. Maybe a February start time. That's what I'm looking. Again, I haven't decided what LP it's going to be. It might be a Final Fantasy game. It's possibly going to be. It might be a Final Fantasy 10. I've hinted at doing Final Fantasy 12 before. I obviously used Final Fantasy 13 as a tech demo. I may decide to go for it and play Final Fantasy 7. I might go for an older one I've not played. I've had a couple of requests as well for non-Final Fantasy titles as well. The original Dark Chronicle game, the original Grandia game certainly come up. I think I've been asked once or twice about maybe a Tales game, something like that. I've had a lot of requests, folks. So I'll be looking to probably do that, I would reckon, about February. Whatever it's going to be. And I'm looking forward to it, because we haven't done a proper RPG for some time. What the hell was the last actual proper RPG we did? Was it Final Fantasy X? I think that could well be it, actually. It might well be Final Fantasy X was the last proper one. The last proper RPG memory I seem to have on the channel is the Penance boss fight. Not just because the Penance boss fight went for almost 2 hours, but I think that was the last thing I basically did, really. So, that'll be looking in February. Metal Gear series as well. Metal Gear Solid. Having done Metal Gear Solid 1 a couple of years ago now. A few people have been asking me about Metal Gear Solid 2. I had considered doing it when I was out. And having that as an LP to do an upload while I was away. But I ummed and ahed about it. But I'm one of those LPs, I'm kind of curious to get a lot of actual fan comments and people watching to comment so that I can then respond to it as the LP goes. I think there's a lot of... There could be, I was about to say, a lot of interesting discussion topics. That might not be quite the case, but it'd be great fun to see people's reactions to some of the madness that goes on in that game. And I'm sure there's going to be a fair few comments about the Metal Gear Solid 2's infamous final series of events, folks. Very infamous. Also, as well, a couple of requests regarding... playing the older Metal Gear games, back from 20 years ago, sort of thing, 25 years ago, the really, really old ones. I may well look to do those as well. I don't quite know where and when. It might be I might even do it whenever I finish Metal Gear Solid 2, actually. I'll have to get those running and work them. I've certainly never played them. I don't know if many people on the channel have ever actually seen any of the old Metal Gear games. They are quite different to the series now. I mean, it's to be honest, it reminds me of when we did Mission Impossible for the NES. For you guys for the LP, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit, but it is certainly you can see those old Metal Gear Solid sort of styles and tropes into them. So that could be interesting as well. In the last game I wanted to quickly just mention before we bring this update video to a close is XCOM, the XCOM series. Of course, we've had a couple of runs of them. The original XCOM, not the original XCOM, but a couple of series. The original XCOM for like modern titles and its relaunch, and then we had the fantastic Enemy Within run we did. I think it was about this time last year now. For those of you guys who don't know, for both of those runs, I invited subscribers to the channel to send in creations, characters to enter into the LP to play the part of the soldiers in the actual game, folks. And we've had some absolutely fantastic times. Enemy Within was a fantastic series. So many great stories, characters coming in, close calls. We had one or two occasions where the game could have been lost as well. We had some utterly amazing moments, and I really encourage, if anyone here has not seen the series, check it out. Even if it's not exactly your cup of tea as a style of game, just some of the moments and stories that developed over the course of the series are utterly fantastic, and I really encourage anyone to watch it. It was great fun. Really enjoyed it. I will, of course, be returning to XCOM at some point. Whether that be XCOM 2, or I might decide to go the other way and take on like the old games, XCOM UFO Defense, instead of XCOM Enemy Unknown. I haven't decided, but certainly whenever I do decide to do that, I will of course be opening up the forum again to anyone on the channel to submit a character into the series so that your soldiers can live, fight, and hopefully not die for the cause. But there will be death. But it will be glorious, folks. Just look at Enemy Within. Some people went out in spectacular fashion. Utterly amazing. Really a lot of fun. So as you can see, plenty of work for me to do before I go. With Alan Wake, Max Payne 2, hopefully. Certainly I'll be doing Resident Evil Dead Aim. And Oregon Trail 2, having a quick run with that, as well as some File 2. And then plenty of stuff for me getting on while I'm away. Yes, folks, believe it or not, I am actually going to relax while I'm away. It may not sound like it, but I really will. But yeah, really thoroughly looking forward to it. While I get those videos uploaded, I will, of course, be keeping an eye on the channel while I'm away. I will be doing one last update video before I go, and then I will be away on my journey and travels across the United States East Coast. And it should be a lot of fun, folks. So I thank you guys so much for watching and listening to, again, quite a long video, but a lot to do. So I hope you guys taking it all in. Any thoughts, comments, of course, please leave them down below in the comments section, and I will respond to them. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in a couple of days or so. I think probably about Friday or Saturday, I would wager. For Resident Evil Dead Aim. I've got a couple of things I've got to just fix with that game before I can get it to run. So I think Friday sounds pretty good, if not Saturday. And then we got one more run of Oregon Trail. But yeah. Dead Aim, Resident Evil Dead Aim, looks already like it could be quite an interesting little LP. And I know a lot of people have been requesting me to do it. And I will be playing that game on hard, because I'm clearly sadistic. So, thank you guys so much for listening, as always, and watching. And yes, I will see you guys very soon. Ta-ta for now. I dropped the fucking pen. You idiot.